You are here not by accident. You found this audiobook because something inside you is ready to break free. Old ways of thinking, waiting, doubting, hoping life will change do not work. That mindset keeps people trapped in the same loop, living the same day again and again. This audiobook is different. It is direct, practical, and built to activate your reality now. Across 10 powerful chapters, you will awaken your inner field, breathe into presence, embody your future self, release old patterns, focus heart power, shift thoughts, anchor gratitude, flow with stillness, transform challenges, and finally live your quantum truth every single day. Each chapter is designed to reshape the way you think, feel, and act in real life. Stay until the end, because one insight can collapse years of limitation in seconds. Subscribe to Quantum Audiobook now. This channel is your portal to unshakable growth and evolution. Chapter 1. Awaken your inner field and choose your reality now. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the space that lives inside your skin, the quiet electric field that has always been present, the subtle hum of possibility under every thought and decision. This field is not distant or mystical, it is immediate and practical, and when you learn to move with it, you step into a different kind of living, one that answers to attention, clarity, and aligned action. Notice the weight of your body where it meets the chair or floor. Notice the temperature of the air against your face. Notice the soft rhythm of your breath as it arrives and leaves. These simple sensations are the gateway into your inner field, and they will serve as the single most reliable tool for choosing a new reality. Begin by opening the channel of attention to the breath. Breathe in for 4 count, hold briefly for 2, and exhale for 6. This small shift alone resets the nervous system, slows the mind, and creates a larger margin of choice. Repeating this pattern for just 1 minute before any decision will change how you respond to the day. As attention widens, imagine your feelings as weather across a clear sky. Observe them without judgment. Notice where tension lives in the body. Name that sensation with one word, like tight, tired, or small. Then breathe into that place and allow it to soften from the inside out. Naming removes the secrecy and loosens the old story that kept you contracted. You have a field that responds to clarity, so be precise with your attention and generous with your kindness. When old patterns rise, call them what they are: habitual responses, not truths, and place a hand over your heart to invite trust into the system. The hand is a bridge between thought and felt reality, and it signals safety. Your nervous system so the field can rearrange itself around new possibilities. Embodiment is not separate from insight. It is insight lived through muscle and breath. So craft a short morning activation that anchors you into your chosen reality. Stand with feet under the hips. Feel the earth. Press back through the soles. Inhale. Imagine energy rising from the earth through your body to the crown of your head. Then exhale and allow your shoulders to release down and back as you softly hum or make a low vibration for 5 breaths. A hum grounds attention in the body and tunes the field to a frequency that supports clarity and courage. After the 5th breath, speak a single intention out loud in present tense, as if it is already true. For example, I move through today with steady, focused energy, or I receive what serves my growth now. Saying intention aloud rearranges the field because sound is a carrier wave for belief, and the body remembers spoken truth more quickly than private thought. Follow this with a tiny aligned action, the smallest possible step toward what you want, such as sending one message, making one call, one 5-minute research note, or opening a single document. This action links the inner shift to outer consequence and proves to the field that change is wanted, not merely imagined. Patterns are held in the combination of thought, sensation, and repeated action, so change each part of that chain. When a limiting thought appears, notice it as a pattern, and then practice a gentle ritual to transform it. Pause. Breathe 2 longer breaths. Feel where the thought sits in the body. Name the feeling. Then shift attention to a counter image, a moment from your day when you felt capable, or a memory of success. However small, hold that picture for 10 seconds and allow the body to replay the feeling in slow motion. Then write one short line in a small notebook that begins with I and finishes with the felt quality you just amplified. Carry that notebook or a simple card in your pocket and read that line whenever resistance appears. Repetition over days rewires the neural pathways, and the field around you becomes coherent with the new story. Coherence means that heartfelt intention and mind-aligned attention point in the same direction. When both are pointing toward the same possibility, your actions accelerate and the world begins to rearrange and respond. The quantum aspect of transformation is not about escaping difficulty, it is about choosing the clearest version of yourself in the present moment and acting from there. Choose one small area of life where change will matter and practice the method of daily micro-commitments. A micro-commitment is a single action that takes between 30 seconds and 5 minutes and is repeated every day for 2 weeks. This is long enough to create momentum, but short enough to be sustainable. If the goal is to increase creative output, choose to write 2 sentences each morning immediately after your activation practice. If the aim is improved health, choose to drink a full glass of water upon waking and then walk for 3 minutes. If the objective is stronger relationships, choose to send one short message that acknowledges or thanks someone each evening. These micro-commitments are not flashy, they are precise, and they teach the field and your nervous system that you are serious about change. Over time, increase the micro-commitment in small increments so the practice deepens without creating friction. Your environment is part of your field and small intentional edits will support momentum. Place one object in your immediate space that symbolizes the new reality: a small stone, a photograph, a written phrase, or a plant, and spend 10 seconds each morning touching it and naming the quality it represents. Remove one item that drains your attention each week. This could be an app notification, a distracting object, or a habit that fragments your energy. Light matters more than people expect, so make room for natural light first thing or use a warm lamp during key practice window. Create a sound environment that supports focus, for instance 30 minutes of gentle instrumental music during your work window and silence for deep reflection. These attentional cues train the field to be predictable and friendly so your inner clarity is easier to sustain. Embodied meditation must be practical and active rather than passive and dissociative. A simple practice to anchor the whole chapter is a 3-part circulation of attention: breathe, body, and intention. For 5 minutes, breathe with the 4-2-6 pattern. Then scan the body from feet to crown, noticing any places of contraction and imagine breath flowing into those areas, softening them with each exhale. Finally, rest attention on one clear phrase, such as "I choose now" or "I am supported," and allow that phrase to be a background tone as you move into your day. This circulation links physiology to attention to language and produces the kind of coherence that manifests change. Practice this sequence 3 times a day for 1 week and record in a small log the felt difference after each session. This habit of checking in creates accountability and reveals subtle shifts that would otherwise be missed. Action without repair will fail in time, so develop a rapid repair toolkit for moments when the field feels scattered. The toolkit includes 3 quick moves. Change posture by opening the chest and dropping the jaw. Inhale a long, slow breath to reset rhythm and perform one small aligned action immediately, such as standing to make a phone call or sending one clarifying message. These moves restore coherence quickly because posture alters hormonal tone. Breath shifts, autonomic balance, and action signals commitment to the nervous system. Practice these 3 moves once under calm conditions so they become automatic when you need them most. Emotional resilience grows when vulnerability meets discipline, so schedule a weekly 5-minute reflection where you name one fear, one longing, and one small victory from the week. Keep reflections brief and factual, then choose one practical adjustment for the coming week that supports alignment. This habit creates intimacy with your inner terrain and removes the sense that difficulty means failure. Difficult feelings become data, not verdicts, and when you consistently treat them as useful information, the field itself calms and becomes easier to direct. The last movement in this chapter is an immediate anchor that you can use now to choose a new reality. Stand or sit, and place both feet on the floor. Feel the connection to the earth. Breathe in 4, hold 2, exhale 6, hum softly for 3 breaths. Then speak your present tense intention as clearly and simply as possible, followed by one micro action that can be completed in 60 seconds. After completing the action, place a hand over the heart and feel gratitude for the possibility you just invited. Record 1 sentence about what happened in a notebook and your day will shift because you have moved attention, posture, breath, voice, and action into alignment. This is how a reality is chosen, not imagined. Conclude the practice by trusting the small steps and honoring the field with consistency. Transformation is not a single dramatic event, but a succession of precise moments chosen with clarity, courage, and care. Commit to the practice of waking the field each morning and answering the day from that awakened place. When attention is steady, breath is generous, and action is aligned, the quantum field responds and new realities become available with surprising speed. Choose now to meet your life with that same steadiness, and watch the everyday rearrange itself around your clarity. Chapter 2. Breathe with presence and expand into pure awareness daily. Pause for a moment and notice the miracle happening right now inside you. Breath flows in without effort. Breath flows out without command. You are alive because of this silent rhythm, yet most of the time it slips by unnoticed, as though something so sacred could be ordinary. Presence begins the instant you reclaim the breath from the background and hold it at the center of awareness. In this act, you discover that your entire world expands not by trying harder or chasing faster, but by softening into what is already here. Niels Bohr once said, "Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real." The breath is your bridge into this truth. It is both tangible and intangible, both physical and energetic. You can feel it moving through your lungs, yet you cannot grasp it or keep it. Each breath reminds you that reality is not fixed. It is constantly renewing itself with every inhale and every exhale. To breathe with presence is to accept the invitation to step into this constant renewal. Awareness travels on the stream of breath, drawing you inward toward the still point that is untouched by fear or distraction. Each inhale carries the world into you. Each exhale releases your old story into the vast field. Breathing in presence transforms every moment into a gateway. You are not practicing escape. You are practicing arrival. You are arriving into your body, into this second of existence, into the raw and immediate truth of life as it is. When you choose to breathe with awareness, the noise that normally dominates your mind begins to lose power. Thoughts still appear, but they float like leaves on water. They come, they pass, and they no longer define you. In their place rises a subtle clarity, a wider sense of being that cannot be grasped by thought, but is felt in every cell. Pure awareness is not a distant mountain you must climb. It is the quiet spaciousness that reveals itself when you no longer chase or resist the flow of life. The breath is your doorway, because it never belongs to the past or future. It only lives now. With each inhale, you witness how reality enters fresh. With each exhale, you feel how the past dissolves and clears space. The cycle is endless, and the lesson is eternal. Reality renews itself through you when you choose presence. Imagine standing by the ocean, watching waves roll toward the shore. You do not cling to one wave or fear its passing because you trust the rhythm. In the same way, the breath teaches you to trust the cycles of your own life. Each ending creates room for a beginning. Each inhale is a new possibility, and each exhale is freedom from what no longer serves. When you bring deliberate attention to your breathing, your nervous system recalibrates. Science has shown that slow, intentional breathing reduces stress hormones, steadies the heartbeat, and even increases the brain's capacity for focus and clarity. This is not mystical speculation, but grounded truth. Yet beyond the science lives an even greater discovery. When the breath steadies, the mind expands into silence. You discover a quality of stillness that does not depend on circumstance. Even if the world around you is chaotic, your breath can anchor you in calm awareness. This is why sages and mystics across traditions have always returned to the breath. They knew it was the simplest and most direct portal to the infinite. Try now to experience the depth of one conscious cycle. Inhale slowly through your nose, feeling cool air brush across the nostrils. Allow the chest to open and the ribs to expand, as if space itself were entering you. Pause for a brief moment at the top of the breath, then exhale softly through your mouth, letting your shoulders melt and your stomach relax. Notice not just the breath, but the field of silence that follows it. In that pause, there is no demand, no pressure, only awareness. Repeat this cycle, not mechanically, but as a living ritual. Each round is different. Each carries its own texture. The more you stay present, the more you realize the breath is not simply air moving in and out. It is life energy. It is connection to everything. It is proof that you belong to this universe without effort. Awareness grows stronger when you carry this practice into ordinary moments. While drinking water, pause and breathe once before you sip. While listening to someone, take a conscious breath to clear distraction, and then let your full attention rest on their words. While walking, match your steps to your breathing, and feel how the body moves in harmony with the earth. These small integrations shift the quality of your entire day. Instead of drifting on autopilot, you are grounded in choice. You discover a rare power, the ability to meet each moment with clarity instead of reaction. And when you live this way, the field around you begins to change. People sense your calm presence. Opportunities arrive with less strain, and your days hold a deeper rhythm. The quantum field responds not to wishful thinking, but to coherence. And coherence begins with the way you breathe. When your breath is scattered and shallow, your energy is fragmented. When your breath is full and present, your energy becomes steady and magnetic. You no longer send mixed signals to life. You embody harmony. That is why awareness of breath is more than a relaxation tool. It is the foundation of alignment. Each conscious breath you take tells the universe, I am here. I am awake. I am available for new reality. This clarity creates resonance, and resonance calls reality into form. You are not trying to force change. You are becoming the frequency of change, and the field cannot resist that invitation. A powerful way to deepen this practice is to create a ritual of 3 breaths at key points of the day. The first is in the morning before you check your phone or move into tasks. Place a hand on your chest, close your eyes, and take 3 slow breaths, allowing each one to expand your awareness into the day ahead. The second is midday, when energy begins to scatter. Pause, breathe 3 times, and feel the body reset. The third is at night, before you close your eyes to sleep. With each breath, release the weight of the day. These 3 anchors alone can transform the way your nervous system holds time. Instead of rushing from one moment to the next, you weave presence through the fabric of your life. Awareness, when joined with breath, awakens a new intimacy with yourself. You no longer overlook the signals of your body. You no longer ignore the whispers of your intuition. You begin to notice the subtle pull toward choices that nourish your being, and you turn away from those that deplete you. This shift is not dramatic at first, but it is profound. Over time you realize that the gap between your inner state and your outer life begins to close. You are no longer divided. You breathe and live as one. Pure awareness becomes not an idea but a daily experience, accessible anywhere, even in the middle of noise and responsibility. When challenges arise, presence in breath is your shield. Instead of collapsing into stress, you breathe deeper, slower, full. The problem does not vanish, but your state changes. And in that shift, new options appear. Where once there was only panic, now there is perspective. Where once there was only anger, now there is patience. The breath is not magic, but it is mastery. It gives you space to choose who you will be in the moment. That choice is the essence of freedom. As you live this way, awareness becomes self-sustaining. The field opens, and you realize that you are not practicing presence for a few moments each day. You are living in presence. Breathing becomes a meditation not because you are trying, but because you are simply awake. In this state, your reality unfolds differently. Each day carries a deeper peace, a steadier rhythm, and a quiet joy that rises without reason. This is the gift of expanding into pure awareness. You live as a clear channel for life itself. So breathe now with attention. Inhale as if the universe is pouring into you. Exhale as if you are giving yourself back to the universe. With each cycle, feel the edges of separation soften. You are not apart from life. You are life, breathing itself into form again and again. This is the path of presence. This is the way into pure awareness. And this is how you expand into a reality that is alive, fresh, and limitless, with every breath you take. Chapter 3. Visualize your future self and embody that energy. Close your eyes and imagine for a moment the life that has always been waiting for you just beyond the edge of your current choices. See it not as a distant dream but as a living possibility already pulsing in the field of creation. Your future self is not a fantasy. It is a frequency, and you can align with it now. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." These words are not poetry alone. They are instruction. Imagination is the bridge between who you have been and who you are becoming. When you visualize with presence and discipline, you are no longer daydreaming. You are broadcasting a signal into the quantum field, and that signal magnetizes experiences, people, and opportunities that mirror your inner state. Begin by sensing your body as it is now. Feel the weight of your feet, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the steady flow of your breath. Then shift your awareness to the self you know you can become. Ask, what does this version of me feel like when they rise in the morning? What posture do they hold as they walk into their day? What energy flows through their voice as they speak with others? Do not just see this self as an image, inhabit it. Let your spine lengthen as if you are that person already. Adjust the breath until it flows with confidence. Smile gently as if you have already stepped into the life you long for. This is embodiment, and embodiment is the key. Visualization without embodiment is only fantasy, but visualization with embodiment is creation. The field responds not to what you want, but to what you are willing to become in this moment. When you visualize your future self and merge with that energy, you alter the frequency you are sending. Think of tuning a radio. Until you shift the dial, the station you want remains hidden. The future you desire is like that station, already broadcasting, already alive, waiting for you to tune your attention. You tune with thought, yes, but you lock the signal with feeling. Feeling is the electricity that charges the vision, and the body is the instrument that plays it. When your mind, heart and body vibrate in coherence, the signal grows stronger, and the field begins to rearrange to meet you. Take a moment now to call forward a specific vision, not a vague picture but one crystal clear detail. See yourself standing at the threshold of a door you have longed to open. Perhaps it is the moment you sign your name on a page that represents a dream fulfilled. Perhaps it is the moment you step into a space that reflects your deepest success. Perhaps it is the warmth of connection, as you share joy with someone you love. Let one scene rise, hold it steady, now breathe into it. Feel the air around you as if you are there. Listen for the sounds that accompany that moment. Taste the air of that reality. Smell the scent of. See the colors vividly. The more senses you engage, the stronger the signal becomes. This is not indulgence. This is training the nervous system to accept the future as now. The brain does not distinguish strongly between vivid imagination and direct experience. Neuroscience confirms that when you rehearse a skill in the mind, the brain patterns mirror those created by actual practice. This is the leverage of visualization. By embodying the future now, you rehearse your way into it. You are not pretending. You are practicing. You are building neural pathways that prepare your body and mind to live that reality with ease when it arrives. More importantly, you are instructing the field to deliver experiences that match what you have already become internally. Each day, carve out a sacred 5-minute practice. Sit quietly, close your eyes and call your future self into the room. Watch them approach. Notice how they carry themselves. Notice the light in their eyes. Feel the steadiness in their presence. Then, step forward and merge with them. Imagine slipping into their skin. Let your breath change. Let your thoughts upgrade. Let your heart beat in rhythm with theirs. Then open your eyes, stand up and act as if you are them for the next hour of your day. This one practice alone, repeated daily, begins to shift your identity from who you were to who you are choosing to be. Do not wait for external conditions to justify this new identity. If you wait until the world confirms it, you will always be behind. You must step into the feeling before the evidence arrives. That is how the evidence is summoned. The field responds to coherence. And coherence means alignment of vision, feeling, and action. If you see yourself abundant but feel lack and act in fear, the field cannot deliver abundance. If you see yourself strong but feel weak and act in hesitation, the field cannot deliver strength. To embody the future is to unify all 3 levels into one frequency. Ask yourself, how does my future self think? Begin writing the thoughts you imagine they repeat each day. Ask, how does my future self care for their body? Adjust your posture, diet or routines in small ways to align with that answer. Ask, how does my future self serve others? Begin practicing small acts of generosity that match that frequency. These steps anchor the vision into lived experience. They prove to your nervous system that you are serious, that this is not a fantasy but a choice. Resistance will appear. Old voices will whisper that this is foolish, that you cannot change, that you are pretending. Recognize them as echoes of past conditioning. They are not prophecy, they are memory. The future is not bound to the past unless you continue rehearsing the past. Visualization cuts through this cycle. Each time you embody your future self, you weaken the pull of the old identity and strengthen the signal of the new one. Over time, the old voice fades and the new self speaks louder. Imagine again that scene you first called forward. Now intensify it. See it brighter, larger, closer. Step into it with more conviction. Hold it until your heart races slightly, until emotion stirs, until you feel as if you cannot tell if it is memory or vision. That is the threshold. That is where the field begins to bend. Stay there. Let your body memorize that. Then, when you return to your daily tasks, carry that memory as if it were already lived. Smile at strangers, as if you are already that person. Make decisions as if you already hold that reality. This is not fake. This is faith in motion. The future self is not a mask. It is your truest form calling you forward. Every moment you practice visualization with embodiment, you shorten the distance between where you stand and where you are destined. Life begins to conspire with you. Unexpected invitations arrive. Synchronicities multiply. Paths open where none seemed possible. You look back months from now and realize the vision you once rehearsed is the life you are inhabiting. The power has always been with you. The field has always been listening. The choice has always been yours. So close your eyes one final time and bring that vision again. Step into it. Let it breathe through you. Let it animate every part of your being. Whisper softly to yourself, I am becoming this now. Feel the words land. Let them echo. Open your eyes and move into your day with the energy of the self you have already claimed. This is visualization. This is embodiment. This is how you shape your reality in the quantum field. Chapter 4. Release old patterns and step into fresh alignment. There comes a point in every life where holding on to what once defined you becomes heavier than the fear of letting go. Old patterns are not simply habits. They are loops of thought, emotion, and action that trap your energy in yesterday's story. They keep you circling the same roads, reliving the same endings, and wondering why nothing feels new. To step into fresh alignment, you must first release what has grown stale within you. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. His words are more than scientific reflection. They are a change begins not in the outer world, but in perception, and perception is bound by the patterns you carry. Notice the cycles that quietly rule your days, the way you wake each morning and already expect the weight of stress, the way you reach for distraction instead of present, the way you speak to yourself in tones harsher than you would ever use with another. These are not harmless repetitions. They are programs, running invisibly, keeping you aligned with a version of life you have already outgrown. The first step in release is awareness. You cannot shift what you refuse to see. Begin by observing yourself without judgment. Watch how a familiar thought triggers a familiar feeling, which then drives a familiar action. It may be the thought, I am not enough, leading to a feeling of heaviness, leading to the action of pulling back from opportunities. Or it may be the thought, life is always hard, leading to a feeling of exhaustion, leading to the action of numbing instead of creating. Witness these loops, not as truths, but as codes that can be rewritten. The body holds memory in ways the mind cannot. Muscles tense in the same places each time fear rises. The stomach tightens in the same way when uncertainty appears. Shoulders curl forward as if shielding you from disappointment. These are the imprints of old experiences stamped into your nervous system. To release them, you must invite the body into the process. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and scan from head to toe. When you find a knot of tension, place your attention there. Breathe slowly into that spot, not to force it open but to bring awareness. As you exhale, imagine a small thread unraveling, a rope loosening, a door cracking open. With each breath, allow the sensation to soften, even if only slightly. The body responds to patience and attention, not to force. Over time, this simple practice melts the physical anchors of old patterns, creating space for a new alignment to take root. The mind will resist. Patterns survive because they disguise themselves as safe. Even destructive loops feel familiar, and familiarity is mistaken for comfort. To break through, you must redefine safety. Safety is not found in repeating yesterday. Safety is found in trusting yourself to meet today with fresh eyes. Each time an old thought rises, pause and name it. Say, this is the pattern. Naming separates you from identification. Then choose a replacement thought, not a false affirmation, but a phrase that feels slightly more expansive. If the old thought is I will always fail, the new one may be I am learning to rise. This is not a lie. It is a doorway. Over days and weeks, the nervous system learns the new doorway and begins to prefer it. Releasing patterns also requires courage to stop rehearsing pain. The mind often replays old wounds, not because it enjoys suffering but because it seeks control over what once felt uncontrollable. Yet each replay reinforces the wound as identity. To step into alignment, you must declare the past complete. That does not mean erasing memory. It means withdrawing the energy you keep feeding it. When the old story appears, speak softly but firmly. That chapter is closed. Redirect your attention to what you want to feel now. Create rituals that reinforce this truth. Write down the limiting story on paper, fold it, and burn it in a safe place. As the smoke rises, breathe deeply and say, I choose freedom. This physical act tells both mind and body that the loop has ended. Alignment is not about perfection. It is about coherence. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions point in the same direction, the field around you begins to shift. Imagine a compass needle wavering because of scattered magnets. That is what happens when you think one way, feel another, and act in contradiction. Release is the act of removing those scattered magnets. Fresh alignment is the moment the compass needle steadies and points north. You feel it as clarity, as ease, as flow. Decisions become simpler because you no longer fight yourself. Energy returns because you are no longer leaking it into the past. A powerful way to accelerate release is through breath combined with intention. Stand tall, inhale deeply through the nose, and as you exhale through the mouth, imagine expelling the entire weight of an old pattern. Say out loud, "I release what no longer serves." Repeat this 3 times, with full presence. Then inhale again, and on the exhale say, "I align with what is true now." Speaking aloud matters. Sound waves carry your decision into form. The body feels the vibration. The mind receives the message, and the field echoes the signal. Over time, this practice reconditions your entire system. You may feel resistance rise even as you practice. That is proof you are on the edge of transformation. Patterns do not dissolve quietly. They cling because they fear annihilation. Meet this resistance not with aggression but with steadiness. Thank the pattern for what it once tried to protect. Then release it. Gratitude severs the chain because it ends the fight. You acknowledge the role it played, and choose to move forward without it. Fresh alignment is discovered in the small daily choices that reflect who you are becoming. Each time you wake and breathe deeply instead of grabbing distraction, each time you speak kindly to yourself instead of repeating the old harsh voice, you align. Each time you step into an opportunity instead of shrinking back, you align. These are not minor shifts. They are revolutions in disguise. The quantum field notices coherence more than intensity. Tiny consistent acts of alignment carry more power than occasional bursts of effort. As you continue, life will respond. Situations that match the old pattern will begin to dissolve. People who resonated with your lower frequency may drift away. This is not loss. It is clearing. The universe is making room for what matches your new signal. At first this may feel unsettling, but trust the process. A forest must shed old leaves to welcome new growth. Your life works the same way. When you stay steady in alignment, the field delivers what you are ready to hold. Now breathe. Slow and steady. Imagine your old patterns as threads falling away. Feel the lightness in your chest as they dissolve. Sense the spaciousness opening around you. This is the sensation of release. It is not dramatic. It is liberating. In this new space, imagine a line of light stretching ahead, a path clear and open. Step onto it in your mind. Walk forward with your head high, your breath full, your heart steady. Whisper to yourself, "I choose alignment now." Let the words settle into every cell. This is how you release what has kept you bound. This is how you step into coherence with the life waiting to meet you. Each breath, each thought, each action chosen in truth becomes a declaration to the field. The declaration is simple. I am ready for me. And when the field receives that clarity, it always responds. Chapter 5. Focus your heart power and magnetize limitless opportunities. The greatest magnet you possess is not your mind, not your effort, and not even your vision. It is your heart. Beneath the noise of thought and the weight of daily survival lives a field of energy so expansive that when it awakens, it draws opportunities toward you like metal to a magnet. The Heart Math Institute has shown that the heart generates an electromagnetic field far stronger than the brain, one that extends several feet beyond the body. This is not poetic metaphor, it is measurable truth. Your heart is the most powerful transmitter you have. And when you learn to focus its signal, the world around you begins to rearrange itself in remarkable ways. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration." Your heart is the living proof of this wisdom, for it vibrates constantly, and every beat sends a frequency into the quantum field. Imagine for a moment that your heart is not simply an organ pumping blood, but a luminous core radiating light in all directions. Each time you feel gratitude, love, or genuine joy, this light brightens, expands, and carries your frequency further into the unseen. People sense it without knowing why. Opportunities arrive without obvious explanation. Synchronicities multiply like sparks in the dark. You are not lucky when this happens. You are aligned. Life reflects the strength and clarity of your signal, yet most people live with their heart dimmed by fear, judgment, and endless mental noise. The task before you is to return to the heart, focus its power and direct it deliberately toward the life you are ready to embody. Begin by softening your attention into the center of your chest. Place your hand there and breathe slowly, as though you are inhaling directly into the heart space. With each exhale, imagine releasing all heaviness. With each inhale, feel a gentle warmth expanding under your palm. After several breaths, you will notice a subtle shift. Your mind quiets, your body steadies, and a calm presence begins to fill you. This is the heart coming online. From here, Call forward a memory of genuine appreciation. It may be a moment of laughter with someone you love, the sight of a sunrise that left you breathless, or the simple comfort of being held. Hold that memory until the feeling arises again in your body. Let the warmth spread through your chest, then through your arms, then through your entire being. This feeling is not sentimental. It is frequency. It is the vibration of coherence. And coherence is what magnetizes. The field does not respond to empty wish. It responds to clear frequency held in the body. When your heart is coherent, the rhythm of your heartbeat syncs with your breath, and the brain begins to follow. The entire system harmonizes, and this harmony is broadcast outward. Think of yourself as a light. When the lamp is dim, ships pass by without noticing, but when the lamp is steady and brilliant, it guides everything around it. Your heart is that lamp. To focus it is to choose the quality of light you send into the field. If you radiate resentment, you draw experiences that echo resentment. If you radiate fear, you magnetize circumstances that mirror fear. But if you radiate gratitude, love and expansion, the field delivers opportunities that align with abundance. To practice this daily, create a short ritual of magnetic alignment. Upon waking, sit upright, place both hands on the heart, and breathe 3 slow cycles. Then speak aloud one feeling you choose to embody that day, such as courage, openness, or joy. As you say it, generate the feeling in your body as if it is already real. Do not just think the word, feel it. Let your body remember what that frequency is like. Carry that sensation for at least 2 minutes. This may seem small, but the shift it creates is profound. You are no longer starting your day by scattering your energy and thought. You are beginning by broadcasting a deliberate signal from the heart. The mind may try to argue. It may insist that opportunities only come from effort, strategy, or chance. But remember, effort without alignment is like pushing a heavy boat against the current. Alignment turns the current in your favor so that even small actions carry you far. Magnetizing does not replace action, it fuels action. When you act from a coherent heart, the right people notice, the right doors open, and resistance fades. Life feels less like a struggle, and more like a flow. You still work, but your work is amplified by invisible forces moving with you instead of against you. Opportunities live everywhere, but you cannot see them when trapped in old emotional states. Imagine walking through a crowded street with your head down. Doors open, faces smile, chances appear, but you miss them because your focus is inward on fear. Now imagine walking the same street with your chest open, heart steady, eyes lifted. Suddenly you notice conversations, glances, possibilities that were always there but hidden. This is how the heart changes perception. It filters reality differently, showing you paths you could not see before. The opportunities were not absent. They were inaccessible until your frequency shifted. A powerful exercise to expand this ability is to project heart energy intentionally into situations. Before entering a meeting, pause and breathe into your heart. Generate the feeling of appreciation for the people you will meet, even if you do not know them. Imagine sending warmth ahead of you into the space. Then walk in carrying that frequency. Watch how the tone of the room changes. Before a creative project, hold your heart and generate excitement, as if the project is already complete and successful. Let that energy flow into your work. The quality of the outcome will reflect the energy you invested at the beginning. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to lead with the heart instead of the mind. You may wonder, how does this magnetize opportunities beyond people and meetings? The answer lies in resonance. The universe is built on vibration. Particles organize themselves according to frequency. When your heart holds a steady vibration, external circumstances reorganize to match it. This is not metaphor, it is resonance at play. The more consistent you are, the faster the alignment manifests. Doubt and fear weaken the signal. Gratitude and trust strengthen it. That is why discipline in heart practice is essential. You cannot send a signal once and expect miracles. You must live in coherence daily, until your very identity becomes magnetic. Sometimes the heart carries scars, disappointments, betrayals, losses. These can feel like barriers to coherence. But even these experiences can be transmuted. Place your attention on the hurt, acknowledge it fully, and then choose to release the story wrapped around it. Say quietly, I honor what happened, and I release what it left behind. Breathe as though light is entering the wound, filling it with warmth. Over time, the heart heals and its power strengthens. Wounds do not weaken you when they are integrated. They deepen your capacity for compassion, and compassion is one of the highest magnetic frequencies you can carry. Imagine the life you long for: success, love, expansion. Then ask yourself not what actions will get you there, but what heart frequency would naturally attract those experiences. Is it courage? Is it joy? Is it openness? Focus there. Cultivate that frequency until it becomes your resting state. Then watch as opportunities unfold with ease. You will know it is working because the world around you will begin to feel lighter, friendlier, more abundant. People will say yes where before they said no. Doors will open that once seemed locked. This is not coincidence, it is magnetism. So breathe now into your chest. Feel your heart expand with each inhale. Let gratitude rise with each exhale. Whisper quietly, I focus my heart. I magnetize opportunity. Say it again until the words carry weight, until they vibrate in your bones. This is not a wish. It is a choice. You are choosing to broadcast coherence. You are choosing to radiate the frequency of abundance, and the field, unfailingly, will answer. Chapter 6. Shift your thoughts gently and welcome higher possibilities. Every reality you have ever experienced began with a single thought. A thought that may have seemed harmless, ordinary, or fleeting, but still carried the seed of what later became your life. The quantum field does not differentiate between thoughts of limitation and thoughts of expansion. It simply responds to the frequency they carry. This is why becoming aware of the quality of your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful shifts you can ever make. Albert Einstein once said, "You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it." This is not just philosophy. It is direct instruction for stepping into higher realities. If your current thoughts sustain the life you want to leave behind, then welcoming higher possibilities requires a gentle redirection of the mind toward new frequencies. The key word is gentle. For too long, people have tried to control or suppress their thoughts with force, fighting against negativity as if battling an enemy. But resistance only feeds what you wish to dissolve. Instead, think of your thoughts as clouds passing across a vast sky. Some are heavy and gray, others light and luminous. You are not the cloud, you are the sky itself. The practice is not to chase clouds away but to shift your attention, to let one drift and to choose another. In this subtle redirection, you free yourself from the grip of old stories. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to the rhythm of your breath. Notice the first thought that arises. Perhaps it is about a responsibility, a memory, or a worry. Without judgment, simply see it. Imagine placing that thought on a leaf floating down a stream. Watch it drift away. Now open a space for a new thought, one aligned with the possibility you wish to embody. Say to yourself, what if things could turn out better than I imagine? Feel how even this simple question shifts the atmosphere in your body. Your shoulders ease, your chest lightens, your mind becomes spacious. This is the beginning of welcoming higher possibilities, not by demanding certainty, but by creating openness. Every time you repeat an old mental loop, you strengthen the neural pathway that carries it. It becomes easier and easier for your brain to travel that route until it feels like the only option. But neuroplasticity proves that the brain is not fixed. It reshapes itself according to repeated focus. By gently offering your mind new directions, thoughts of creativity, gratitude, courage, you carve new pathways. Over time, those paths become roads, and eventually highways. The old patterns lose their strength, not because you fought them, but because you stopped feeding them. Think of a radio dial. If you remain tuned to a frequency of doubt, you can only hear static filled with doubt. But when you shift the dial, even slightly, the entire signal changes. The music of possibility floods in. The quantum field responds in exactly the same way. Shift your inner station, and you begin to receive a different reality. This is why possibility is not about hoping blindly. It is about aligning deliberately. Your thoughts send signals and the field amplifies them into experience. Consider how many times your life has changed simply because you thought differently about something. A challenge once felt unbearable until you saw it as a lesson. A closed door once seemed like rejection until you realized it was redirection. That shift in perception changed everything, not because the external world instantly transformed, but because your inner world expanded to include higher meanings. In that expansion, new choices appear. This is the subtle but profound power of shifting thought. It unlocks pathways that were invisible when you were locked into old narratives. Begin a practice today of gently questioning the thoughts that arise. When you notice a belief like, I can't do this. Pause and soften it. Ask, what if I could? What if it's possible? This does not require blind positivity, it requires curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most powerful mental states because it opens doors without forcing outcomes. It says to the field, I am available for something greater. And the field responds. The most successful innovators, leaders, and visionaries were not those who thought the same as everyone else. They were those who shifted thought just enough to glimpse higher possibility. Thomas Edison did not create the light bulb by thinking about darkness. He imagined a world where light could be summoned at will. The Wright brothers did not obsess over gravity. They held the thought of flight. In your own life, you may not invent something monumental, but you are invited to invent a new version of yourself. Each gentle redirection of thought becomes a blueprint for that version to emerge. There will be days when the old thoughts seem louder than ever. On those days, practice presence rather than perfection. It is enough to notice, to say, this is an old thought, and then choose again. You may have to redirect 100 times in an hour, but every redirection is progress. Over time, the effort lessens. The new thoughts become natural. The old ones fade like echoes in a distant canyon. Meditation is one of the most effective tools for this shift. When you sit in silence, breathing into your body, you begin to see thoughts as passing phenomena, rather than absolute truths. You learn to release identification with them. From that spacious awareness, you can select with intention. Imagine sitting in front of a vast library, where every thought is a book. Some shelves are filled with fear, others with inspiration, others with creativity. You have the freedom to pick up any volume. Which shelves do you want to explore? Which books do you want to read into your future? As you cultivate this choice, life begins to feel less like fate and more like authorship. You are not trapped in a story written long ago. You are writing new chapters with every thought you nurture. The more gently you shift, the more your narrative evolves. Higher possibilities are not forced upon you. They are welcomed, and in welcoming they flow. You may notice synchronicities multiplying. A conversation that leads to a new path. A chance meeting that offers guidance. An opportunity that arrives just when you needed it. These are not random. They are confirmations that your thoughts have tuned you into a different stream of reality. You are stepping into resonance with outcomes that once felt out of reach. As you listen now, take a breath and allow your current thought to soften. Ask yourself, what else is possible? What greater version of me is ready to emerge? Hold that question without rushing for an answer. Let it ripple into the field. Feel your chest expand, your mind clear, your entire being open. This openness is the invitation. It is the signal the field requires to deliver new realities. Shifting thought is not about controlling every idea or never feeling doubt again. It is about recognizing your power of choice in each moment. One thought can keep you small. Another can set you free. Choose gently. Choose often. Choose with curiosity. The quantum field will mirror the frequency you hold. And as your thoughts rise, so will your... Chapter 7. Anchor gratitude deeply and open gateways of abundance. Gratitude is more than a polite response or a fleeting emotion. It is a state of consciousness that changes the entire frequency of your being. When you anchor gratitude deeply into your daily awareness, you open a current of energy that the quantum field cannot ignore. You move from scarcity into sufficiency, from longing into fulfillment. Dr. Joe Dispenza often reminds us, gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. When you feel thankful before the evidence arrives, you signal to the field that you already live in the reality you desire, and the field begins to match that vibration. Think for a moment about how often your mind runs toward what is missing. The subtle thought of "I don't have enough" sends a vibration of lack into the space around you. The field, neutral and responsive, amplifies that lack by returning more of the same. Yet, when you shift into genuine appreciation, even for something as simple as your breath, your hands, or the light filtering through your window, you recalibrate the signal you are broadcasting. You begin to radiate fullness. From that frequency, gateways open, pathways you could not see while trapped in dissatisfaction. Imagine gratitude as a key that unlocks hidden doors. You may walk past those doors every day without noticing them, because your focus is on what you lack. But when you pause to acknowledge what is already here, the handle glows, and the door swings open. Behind it lies abundance, opportunity, and the magnetic flow of life working in your favor. The more consistently you anchor this feeling, the more natural it becomes, until gratitude ceases to be an occasional practice and transforms into your baseline frequency. Pause now and bring to mind one thing in your life you may have overlooked. Perhaps it is the resilience that has carried you through every storm, or the way your body continues to breathe even when you sleep. Feel that recognition fill your chest. Allow warmth to spread through you, like sunlight entering every cell. That warmth is not imaginary. It is measurable. Studies in neuroscience show that when you focus on gratitude, your brain produces dopamine and serotonin, the very chemicals that create joy. Your heart rhythm synchronizes, your immune system strengthens, and your entire body begins to align with well-being. Gratitude, therefore, is not only spiritual practice, but biological alchemy, and yet it reaches far beyond biology. In the quantum field, emotion is a frequency, and frequency is the language of creation. When you hold the frequency of gratitude, you tell the field, I already have what I desire. I am already fulfilled. The field, like a perfect mirror, reflects back experiences that confirm this truth. This is how gratitude bends reality. You begin to encounter synchronicities, unexpected financial blessings, new relationships, creative breakthroughs. You may call them coincidences, but in truth, they are the ripples of the vibration you sustain. Consider how different your life feels when you start the day in appreciation rather than complaint, waking up and immediately thanking life for the gift of breath, for the ability to move, for the unseen opportunities waiting to meet you. That single shift colors your entire day. Traffic that would have frustrated you becomes an opportunity to listen to music or reflect. A challenge that would have drained you becomes a chance to grow. Gratitude reorients perception, until even difficulties become doorways into wisdom. Anchor this practice deeply by making gratitude physical. Speak it aloud. Write it in a journal. Whisper thank you when you drink water, when you see the sky, when you receive kindness. Let it spill from you in small, steady offering. Over time, these moments accumulate into a river of energy so strong it begins to carve new landscapes in your reality. Gratitude is never passive. It is active creation. Some people wait to feel grateful until abundance arrives. They say, I will be thankful when I have the money, when I meet the partner, when I achieve the dream. But that is not how the quantum field works. Waiting reinforces separation. The practice is to reverse the order. Feel the gratitude first, embody the energy now, and allow the external world to rise to match it. This is why it is called receivership. You are not asking, you are receiving before the evidence shows up. In doing so, you collapse potential into form. Think of a time in your past when something unexpected arrived just when you needed it. Perhaps a helping hand, a sudden opportunity, or a blessing you did not anticipate. Looking back, you may realize that during that time, you were not in despair. You were hopeful, open, or even grateful despite uncertainty. That state of being aligned you with the experience. Gratitude does not manipulate the universe. It synchronizes you with its flow. There is also a hidden beauty in anchoring gratitude for what has not yet arrived. When you give thanks for your future self, the one who already lives in abundance, you merge with that timeline. You begin to embody the emotions of fulfillment now, and in the quantum field, now is all that exists. The energy of your present state is the magnet of your future. By living in the gratitude of what is coming, you accelerate its arrival. If doubts arise, as they often do, meet them with compassion rather than judgment. Instead of thinking I should be more grateful, simply return to the smallest thing you can appreciate in that moment. It may be as simple as the ground beneath your feet, or the air entering your lung. Gratitude does not require extravagance. It thrives in simplicity. From those small moments, your frequency lifts, and larger currents of abundance follow. Picture your heart as a radiant field, pulsing with energy. Each time you focus on gratitude, that field expands. It reaches beyond your body, touching those around you, influencing interactions, and altering the atmosphere of rooms you enter. People feel drawn to you, not because of what you say, but because of the frequency you emit. Gratitude magnetizes connection, opportunities, and resources effortlessly. As you anchor this practice, notice the ripple effect in your relationships. Gratitude softens conflicts, strengthens bonds, and creates deeper trust. When you tell someone sincerely, I appreciate you, you activate abundance, not only in your life, but in theirs. This shared energy multiplies, creating collective resonance. Abundance is not a private possession. It is a field that expands when shared. Now close your eyes and place your hands over your heart. Whisper silently, thank you. Let those words echo through you, not as a ritual but as a truth. Feel how your heart responds, how your body relaxes, how the space around you becomes lighter. You are opening a gateway now, one that leads directly into abundance. Each time you practice, that gateway wide. Gratitude does not require waiting for extraordinary miracles. It creates the soil in which miracles grow. The more you root yourself in appreciation, the more you discover that abundance is not something distant, but a living frequency available now. And as you live in that frequency, doors you never imagined possible begin to open effortlessly before you. The gateways of abundance are not locked. They have always been waiting for you to turn the key of gratitude and step through. Chapter 8. Flow with stillness and discover resilience in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is the very ground from which creation itself arises. When you allow yourself to settle into stillness, you discover that the quiet is not absence, but presence alive, potent, filled with currents of information waiting to be noticed. The quantum field is not loud, it does not shout, it whispers, and only when you are still enough to listen do you begin to perceive the subtle guidance that was always there. As Lao Tzu wrote, silence is a source of great strength. In silence you recover the resilience you may have forgotten, a resilience that does not rely on control, but flows with the deeper intelligence of life itself. In our modern world, the mind has been trained to fill every space with noise, notifications, endless thoughts, constant comparison. This habit disconnects you from the natural rhythm that the field flows in. The quantum field is infinite possibility, yet to align with it, you must learn to rest in the gap between thoughts. That space, often overlooked, is where transformation happens. When you drop into silence, you stop chasing outcomes, and instead become receptive. You stop forcing and begin flowing. That is resilience, not rigid endurance, but adaptive strength, the ability to move with life rather than against it. Consider water. When still, it reflects everything clearly, yet it is also powerful enough to carve through rock over time. Silence is the same. It reflects your true nature while shaping you into resilience without strain. When you rest in inner stillness, your nervous system resets, your mind unclutters, and your energy reorganizes. From that place, clarity emerges. You see pathways that stress once obscured. Decisions become intuitive. You no longer act from fear or urgency but from calm alignment with possibility. Allow yourself to enter this moment with presence. Breathe deeply, and with each exhale, release the need to figure everything out. The silence between your breaths is not empty. It is filled with intelligence. Neuroscience shows that when the brain is quiet, it actually enters higher states of coherence. The default mode of overthinking dissolves, and the body synchronizes with heart rhythms. You are not losing power in stillness. You are amplifying it. You are tuning your frequency to match the deeper order of the universe. It is in silence that resilience grows roots. The storms of life may bend you, but when you are anchored in inner stillness, you do not break. You adapt. You find that within you is a calm unshaken by circumstance. People often believe resilience is about gritting teeth and pushing harder, but true resilience is soft power. It is surrender that leads to strength. When you allow silence to teach you, you discover that the universe always finds a way to reorganize in your favor. Think of moments when you have been still in nature, sitting by the ocean, walking through a quiet forest, gazing at a starlit sky. In those moments, your heart slowed, your thoughts softened, and something greater touched you. That is not coincidence. It is remembrance. You are remembering that you belong to the same rhythm as the ocean waves, the same stillness as the trees. The quantum field moves in waves, and silence is your access point into that eternal flow. Resilience in silence also means meeting discomfort without resistance. The mind may panic when quiet arrives, rushing to fill it with distraction. Yet if you sit long enough, if you breathe through the unease, you find that silence holds you, reshapes you, strengthens you. The greatest breakthroughs often come after deep stillness, when the mind finally steps aside and the heart speaks. That voice, calm and steady, is what guides you into higher possibilities. In stillness, time slows. What felt overwhelming becomes manageable. What seemed impossible reveals new solutions. You are no longer fighting against life, but aligning with its deeper current. Resilience then is not about being untouched by difficulty, but about knowing you are always larger than the difficult. Silence shows you that you are not your thoughts, not your fears, not the noise around you. You are the awareness beneath it all. From that awareness, strength naturally rises. Practice this now. Close your eyes, breathe gently, and feel the pause at the top and bottom of each breath. Rest in that pause. That pause is the entryway to resilience. It is the reminder that even in motion, stillness exists. Even in chaos, silence remains untouched. The more you train your awareness here, the more you carry this resilience into daily life. Stressful conversations, unexpected challenges, sudden disappointments. These no longer knock you down easily. Instead, you return to that silent strength within, and you respond from clarity rather than reaction. The beauty of silence is that it does not require special conditions. You do not need a meditation cushion or a retreat center. You can access it in traffic, in a crowded room, even during chaos. All it requires is your willingness to pause and listen. Silence is not outside of you. It is within you, always waiting. And each time you return to it, you deepen your capacity to flow with life, rather than resist it. In the quantum perspective, silence is not absence, but fertile space. Every possibility exists in the field, and silence is the womb where those possibilities gest. When you quiet your mind, you stop collapsing the same repetitive realities, and instead allow new ones to emerge. From silence, you create not by force but by resonance. The resilience you gain is not the toughness of walls but the strength of water, able to shift, bend, and still find its way forward. When you live from this resilience, you no longer fear silence. You treasure it. You seek it not as escape, but as nourishment. Silence becomes your companion, your teacher, your strength, and as you continue flowing with it, you realize that silence is not empty at all. It is where your truest self waits for you. It is where abundance gathers. It is where resilience is born and reborn. Each time stronger, clearer, free. Now breathe once more and rest in the quiet behind these words. That quiet is your anchor. That quiet is your power. And in that power you are never fragile. You are infinitely resilient. You do not just survive the storms. You become the calm eye at their center. You do not just chase possibilities. You welcome them with grace. And as you flow with stillness, you discover that silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of everything you have ever sought. Chapter 9. Create radiant coherence and transform challenges into strength. Coherence is the secret architecture of transformation. When your mind, heart, and body are scattered in conflicting directions, your energy weakens. But when they are aligned, when thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate together in harmony, you create radiant coherence. This state is not passive. It is an active force that reshapes reality. The quantum field responds, not to fractured signals, but to the clarity of a unified frequency. As Greg Braden once wrote, coherence is the language the universe hears. When you cultivate coherence, challenges no longer appear as walls, but as stepping stones that elevate you into greater strength. Life will always present difficulties, but the way you meet them determines whether they become obstacles or opportunities. Most people react with fragmented energy, fear in the heart, worry in the mind, tension in the body. This fragmentation amplifies the problem, but when you pause, breathe, and bring your inner world into coherence, you shift the pattern. Suddenly the challenge stops controlling you. Instead, you stand rooted in clarity. And from that place, solutions emerge that were invisible in chaos. Think of coherence like music. A single note may be pleasant, but when notes are arranged in harmony, they create a song that moves the soul. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are notes, and when arranged in harmony, they resonate with the quantum field. That resonance is what magnetizes new reality. Challenges, then, are not punishments, but invitations to tune yourself, to refine your song, until it carries the strength of clarity and the power of resilience. To build coherence, begin with the heart. The heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body, and science has shown that when emotions are elevated, gratitude, compassion, love, the heart's rhythm becomes smooth and ordered. This order influences the brain, calming the nervous system and aligning the body into balance. From this state you are no longer reacting impulsively, but responding from strength. The challenge may remain, but your relationship to it transforms completely. Every difficulty carries hidden information. Incoherence blinds you to that wisdom, but coherence reveals. A problem once seen as unbearable can, incoherence, reveal itself as a catalyst for growth. The lost job becomes the opening for a higher path. The failed relationship becomes the mirror that teaches self-worth. The unexpected detour becomes the gateway to opportunity you would never have chosen on your own. Transformation is never about avoiding challenges, but about transmuting their energy into strength. Albert Einstein reminded us, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. This is not just philosophy. It is quantum truth. When you shift into coherence, your energy field organizes, and that organization ripples outward, reordering your external reality. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a conscious participant in evolution, and every challenge becomes raw material for strength. Every setback a spark for resilience. Close your eyes for a moment, and place your attention on your heart. Breathe slowly, as if inhaling through the chest. With each breath, imagine a golden light expanding outward, filling your body with warmth. Allow this light to soften any tension in your mind. Relax the tightness in your shoulders, and ease the weight in your belly. As your inner world softens, notice the coherence beginning to form, a gentle order, like ripples settling into calm water. In this state, clarity returns, the mind quiets, the heart steadies, and you feel yourself not as separate from life, but woven into its deeper intelligence. When coherence becomes your natural state, challenges transform before your eyes. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What strength is this calling forth within me?" The shift in question shifts the energy. Suddenly, instead of resisting, you are partnering with life. The challenge becomes an ally, shaping you, sharpening you, guiding you into a stronger version of yourself. Radiant coherence is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Even when storms come, you remain anchored in inner order. Just as a lighthouse shines steadily through fog and waves, your coherence radiates stability in turbulent times. This light does not only guide you, it uplifts those around you. Others feel your calm presence, and without words they sense there is strength available in the midst of uncertainty. Challenges, in truth, are initiations. They push you to remember that you are more than the surface self that struggles. They press you to discover the deeper self, the one that cannot be broken, the one that knows how to transform pressure into power. Coherence is the key that unlocks this transformation. Without coherence, challenges feel overwhelming. With coherence, they become doorways to mastery. Imagine your life as a web of light. Each thought, each emotion, each action sends ripples across this web. When incoherent, the web tangles and life feels heavy. But when coherent, the web sparkles and energy flows smoothly, carrying you into synchronicities and opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Challenges that used to paralyze you now become signals, pointing you toward the adjustments needed to strengthen your resonance. This path is not about pretending difficulties are easy. It is about recognizing that within every challenge lies a seed of expansion. Coherence waters that seed, allowing it to grow into strength you didn't know you had. Over time, you stop fearing challenges altogether. You welcome them as teachers. You trust that life will bring you only what you are capable of transforming. And in that trust, your energy radiates brighter, calmer, stronger. The radiance of coherence is felt even before it is seen. People will sense it in your presence, in the way you listen, in the way you respond with calm even when circumstances grow tense. They will wonder what changed in you. But the truth is, you aligned. You discovered the power of harmony within, and that harmony became strength in every area of life. Now bring to mind a challenge you are facing. See it clearly, but instead of reacting, breathe into coherence. Allow your heart to radiate order, your mind to soften, your body to relax. From this space, ask, what is this moment teaching me? How can this refine me? Where is the hidden strength in this situation? Stay open and notice the shift. Often the challenge does not vanish immediately, but your perspective transforms so radically that the weight lifts. And from that new perspective, solutions arise naturally. Radiant coherence is not something you visit once, it is a state you can cultivate daily. Each breath, each choice to align heart and mind, builds a new rhythm. Over time, coherence becomes your baseline. And from that baseline, you live with strength that cannot be shaken. Challenges will still come, but now you meet them as fuel. They sharpen you, but they no longer break you. You become the alchemist of your own life, turning struggle into strength, confusion into clarity, fear into power. This is the gift of coherence. It transforms not only how you face challenges, but also how you create reality itself. With radiant coherence, you do not just survive, you thrive. You do not just endure, you evolve. And as you live in this state, you realize that strength was never about resistance. It was about resonance. It was about choosing alignment so powerful that even life's greatest storms can only polish you into brilliance. Chapter 10. Live your quantum truth and evolve every single day. To live your quantum truth is to stand in the recognition that you are not a fixed being, but a field of limitless possibilities. Every day, life offers you infinite paths, infinite selves, and infinite futures. Most people repeat the same reality. because they unconsciously choose from the patterns of yesterday. But when you awaken to your quantum nature, you stop recycling the past and begin consciously creating the new. This is not philosophy, it is physics. The quantum field responds not to who you were, but to who you decide to be in this moment. Niels Bohr, one of the fathers of quantum mechanics, once said, "Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real." In this wisdom we find a powerful invitation. Reality is not solid, and your life is not locked. What feels unchangeable, the habits, the stories, the labels you carry, is in truth fluid, malleable, waiting for the imprint of your choice. To live your quantum truth is to stop treating your circumstances as a movable stone and start engaging them as waves that bend to your intention. Every single day you are evolving. The question is not whether you are changing, but whether you are evolving consciously or unconsciously. If you drift on autopilot, the patterns of fear, doubt, and limitation quietly write the script of your life. But if you step into awareness, if you begin each day by declaring your alignment with your highest vision, then evolution becomes a masterpiece you direct. You wake not just to survive the hours, but to expand into new layers of yourself. This is the essence of quantum living, choosing to embody a version of yourself that feels aligned with your truth. Even before the evidence arrives, the field does not require proof. It requires coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and energy match the self you wish to become, the universe reorganizes to reflect that vibration. What seemed impossible begins to flow toward you. What once felt far away suddenly becomes natural. Living your quantum truth means refusing to betray yourself for comfort, refusing to shrink for approval, refusing to pretend to be less than you are. It means every day you choose courage over fear, expansion over contraction, alignment over compromise. Some days this will feel effortless, and other days it will require strength. But the more you choose in favor of truth, the more natural it becomes. Until evolution is not something you strive for, it is something you embody. Think about how a seed transforms into a tree. The seed does not resist its growth. It simply unfolds in harmony with the intelligence coded within. You too carry a quantum code. Deep inside you already sense the self you are meant to grow into. That whisper you hear, that vision that won't leave you, that feeling of something more. It is not imagination, it is guidance from the field, urging you into your quantum truth. Every challenge you face, every lesson you encounter is part of this unfold. To live your truth is not to avoid struggle but to see it as fuel for evolution. Just as pressure transforms carbon into diamond, the experiences that test you are refining you, shaping you into a stronger, clearer version of yourself. If you resist them, you stagnate. If you embrace them, you expand. Living quantum truth is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about showing up each day with the awareness that you are both a creator and a student. You are shaping reality with every thought and action, while also being shaped by the wisdom life places in your path. This dance of creating and learning is how you evolve daily. The truth is not static, it breathes, it moves, it expands with you. So how do you begin? You begin by listening deeply. When you wake in the morning before the noise of the world enters, tune into the silence and ask yourself, what truth am I meant to embody today? Allow the answer to rise not from the mind's chatter, but from the stillness of the heart. Perhaps it whispers courage, perhaps it whispers forgiveness, perhaps it whispers creativity. That whisper is your compass. When you follow it, your day aligns with evolution. Living your quantum truth also means honoring the power of choice. Each moment carries a fork in the road. You can choose to repeat old patterns, or you can choose to step into a higher possibility. Even the smallest choices ripple into the field. What you say, how you breathe, how you hold yourself, how you respond when fear arises. Each choice either reinforces the past or calls in the future. To evolve each day is to become more intentional with these choices, to infuse them with the energy of who you truly wish to be. When you live like this, something profound happens. Life begins to feel less like struggle and more like symphony. Synchronicities multiply, opportunities flow in ways you could not have predicted. People arrive in perfect timing. Challenges shift into revelations. This is not magic, it is resonance. The field is responding to the clarity of your truth. And yet, there will be moments of doubt, moments where the old patterns pull you back. This too is part of the path. Living your quantum truth is not about never falling. It is about rising every time you do. It is about remembering that even in setback you are evolved. Each time you return to truth, you strengthen it, until it becomes unshakable. To evolve daily is to hold the paradox. You are already whole, and yet you are always expanding. You are complete in this moment, yet endlessly unfolding. You are both the seed and the tree, both the wave and the particle, both the creator and the creation. When you live with this awareness, every day becomes sacred. Every breath carries possibility. Every step moves you deeper into alignment with your highest self. Close your eyes now and breathe slowly. Feel the air enter your lungs, the rhythm of your heart, the aliveness in your body. In this simple awareness, recognize that you are not separate from the field. You are the field. Your truth is not outside of you. It is the very fabric of your being. Whisper to yourself, I am evolving. I am expanding. I am living my quantum truth. Let this affirmation not be empty words, but an energetic declaration, a signal to the universe of who you choose to be now. As you carry this into your day, remember, living your quantum truth is not a destination, but a practice. Each morning, you awaken as a new being. Each choice, each breath is an opportunity to align or to fragment. Choose alignment. Choose expansion. Choose truth. And in doing so, watch as life responds with synchronicity, with grace, with growth beyond anything you imagine. This is the invitation of the quantum path, to evolve not once in a lifetime but every single day, to live in the recognition that you are more than matter, more than history, more than circumstance. You are possibility itself, and when you embody that truth, your very presence becomes a beacon, reminding others of their own infinite nature. So live boldly, live authentically, live as the quantum being you are, and with each day, evolve not in small ways only, but in radiant leaps that carry you closer to the fullest expression of your truth. Because in the end, life is not about waiting for change to come. It is about becoming change itself, again and again, until your entire being shines as a living reflection of the infinite field. Each chapter you've journeyed through is not just a lesson, it's a living practice to awaken your inner field, to breathe with presence, to embody your future self, to release the weight of the past, to magnetize opportunities, to shift thoughts into higher realms, to anchor gratitude, to flow in stillness, to transform challenges, and to live your quantum truth. These are not concepts, they are doorways. Apply them daily as rituals, not routines, and you will begin to sense reality bending in your favor. The deeper you commit, the faster your field aligns. Now listen closely. This is where human psychology comes alive. Most will hear these truths and do nothing, trapped in comfort and fear. But you, if you dare, can step beyond. Subscribe now, not casually, but as a declaration to the universe that you choose evolution. The next audiobook will be one of the most important transmissions yet. Miss it, and you risk staying in the old timeline forever.